Alex Jones out here on Barton Creek in Austin, Texas. Took the family out to go for a walk, and this is what we're putting up with. Massive aerosol spray, massive geoengineering. You can even see the planes up there doing it. And we've, of course, done news reports. We've shown you the patents. I'm going to do another one next week where it's added to the jet fuel. So it's compartmentalized with the big three companies that supply most of the jet fuel. And then it's aerosolized out of the engines. It's a giant geoengineering or terraforming project. The old-timers, 15, 16, 17 years ago, I guess back in 95, went up and did tests. Said it was barium salts, aluminum dioxide, and other things used to form nuclei and manipulate the weather. And people called them kooks. But then, 3 years ago, the incoming head of science czar for Obama, John P. Holder, admitted, yeah, there's been a big secret program. This giant global program that first started in the mid-90s in the United States and Europe has now gone all over the world. And it's a huge terraforming manipulation project. And it's just how they set the policy and put the fluoride in the water, and then 99.9% of people aren't even aware of it. And all over the world, aluminum levels are going up in the soil, but don't worry, Monsanto's got a seed that can deal with that can live in it. But there's just massive global manipulation as the controllers play God. And if you notice, you can see some of the trails that have just been sprayed recently, but again, 20 years ago they dissipated in minutes, max. Now they sit up there for 30, 40 minutes and then turn into huge cloud banks. Early this morning it was a open, beautiful sky, and now this haze has been created. And I was watching probably about 20 miles over, a plane going by, a passenger plane at about 35,000 feet, and it was laying out the trails. And again, oh, there's one right there. There's one right there. And so you can actually see this happening in lifetime. And again, everybody remembers growing up as a child, or even 16, 17 years ago, trail went by and you'd watch it. You'd watch the trail disappear within seconds or max a minute. By the time the plane had flown to the other horizon, the trail would be gone. It would dissipate behind it. Then you'd watch the lingering bits. That doesn't happen now. You don't see lingering. Again, previously, by the time it flew across, it would start dissipating and disappear, and you'd have a few wisps every once in a while that were left of ice crystals if the atmospheric conditions were just right. But that is not the case now, my friends. It's just absolutely incredible to see this type of manipulation going on our globe. And to have the government admitting they're doing it, but because they said it was a conspiracy theory in the mid-90s, even though when it's admitted, you're not supposed to talk about it. Just like all these corporations and groups calling for world government now, the Vatican calling for it, because for decades they said kooks talked about it. Now they won't even, the general public won't even discuss what's being admitted because it's not polite. This is mass mind control. All right, I'm Alex Jones reporting from Austin, Texas, out in the hill country. And again, now the trails are just creating a total haze up here, and I've watched this in the last hour form.